Good morning, Professor. Hi, everybody. I'm Min. My group, including Thanh Thủy and I, we will work on the early modern English from 1500 to 1700. The focus of our talk is from the video The Sound System of Early Modern English on YouTube, presented by Professor Julian Han from Morden University, Germany. The reason we chose the Hans video is that he audibly and coherently explains the points with instantiations. The aim of our presentations is to learn about the history of English language course, specifically the sound system in this period. We plan to speak for 15 minutes. We will divide our talk into 3 sessions. First, I'll give you an overview of the phonological changes that marked the transitions from Middle English to the early modern English. Then we will take a look at the exemplification of the early modern English sound system, including a short reading passage of a sonnet from Shakespeare. Finally, Thanh will have to keep going the rest of the part 2. I'll get back to give a conclusions of our presentation. I'll begin with the first part that Professor Han points out the event of the sound system in the early modern English and its transformations from the Middle English era. He uses audio instances to illustrate the pronunciations at that time. At first, the changes from Middle English to early modern English manifested the great shift in sounds and the typical English phonemes in the passages from the English poet, playwright, and author William Shakespeare. Let me summarize the boundaries of time and main facts of the age of early modern English. It started from around 1500 in the reign of Henry VIII, who raised against the Catholic Church to marry more than one wife. That is an English tradition. Historians and linguists define it as the period marked by the fact that printing machines and press first came to England by William Casson. Another highlight movement was the Protestant Reformation, where the Latin Bibles were translated into English to be readable for the common people. The end of early modern English was roughly 200 years onward, coinciding with the explorations and colonization, as well as the departures of the scientific era, and there was an appearance of the masterpieces of William Shakespeare, in which he invented full of new words and phrases in daily speech. Next, the English language history saw the transitions from Middle English to early modern English with the re-vowel shift, where people changed differently the way to pronounce English vowels away from the previous periods, and some vowels became diphthongs. Let's start in 1350 to see the changes of its articulation and positions of vowel sounds in the phonetic chart. So that's an introduction to the early modern English. Here now is Thủy. She will keep talking about other vocalic changes.
Hello, and now I will talk about the further vocalic changes, which were presented by Professor Julian Henkel. The following major changes that took place in the system of monotone. Let's look at the first one. That is the last word in final unstressed position. For example, marker became mark, or smoother became smooth, or later smooth. And another one is the change of fronting back R to R before vowel fricatives. For example, in words such as star, which became step, and glass became glass. The third one is the change in the centering of a mid-high vowel to sword. For example, run. For example, run will become run and move became must. The fourth monotone change can be found before nasal, where the mid-low front vowel changes to mid-high front vowel. We have the symbol like wing and single, where the vowels were lower before the change. The final monotone changes is the raising of O to O in words such as bows, bow, or cow. So, these are some central monotone trends that led from Middle English to early modern English. Further trend that mark this period is the change in the system of diphthong. Now, let's look at these in details. The first one, the diphthong ill changed to L. Example would be words such as pure became purer or pure became pure. The second change is that the diphthong L changed to R, and typical examples are words such as counter became cars or hawk became hawk. The next change is that the diphthong O as in no was monotone guide to new or blow became blower. Last but not least, we have the change of A to E. For example, day became day and dries became dray. Next, I will discuss the trend in the consonantal system in the early modern English, presented by Professor Tudor Henkel. While these changes were relatively small, here are the major changes in the consonantal system. Let's look at them in detail. So, here's the first one. We have two new phonemes in words such as sing or pleasure. The phonemes are also pronounced in the present English. Another change was the loss of the two allophones of glottal fricates. For example, sit became sit, or coast became couch. Another loss is that words such as heart became heart, or talk became talk. Furthermore, we could observe a lot of k and g before final nasal. For example, the word long. Another change occurred in the 18th century is that the labial approximant was dropped before an alveolar approximant. Before words such as wrong became wrong and wrinkle became wrinkle. In addition, the post-vocalic R were lost in the words such as mark became mart and water became water. And now, Miss Han will continue with the next part.
Now I continue with the early modern English phonemes. There are 11 monotongues, 3 diphthongs, and 24 consonants. Let's start with monotongue. During the earliest modern English period and before the vowel system of English changed considerably and majors appearance, the number of 5 short vowel adjustment, the major activities concern the long vowel. So here we have 5 long monotones. Rings, a mix in high long vowel. E in mid, A middle S in make, then a make high back vowel O in good, and finally high back vowel U in food. Let's continue with short monotongue. Here we have 5 short monotongue and 1 gentle monotongue. We have a mixed high front vowel E in kiss, a mixed vowel front A in back, a low front vowel A in that or in heart, a mid high back vowel U in full. Early modern English only had 3 diphthongs. They were all of writing, so we have A in tight, O in house, and O in joy. So we have consonants. There are 24 consonants. The consonantal system of early modern English were almost that of Middle English. Most spelling patterns were formulated in their attention to details, late Middle English and early modern English. By the end of 17th century, modern patterns of spelling punctuation have been established. Literature and spelling. Literature and spelling in English during the Renaissance. Several names such as Esmond Spencer, Thomas More, or Christopher Marlowe are connected with that period, but no one has such a great impact on both literature and language as William Shakespeare, who lived from 1564 until 1660. He used unique figure of world literature, and his plays, poems are full of rich language. He invented a lot of new words. For example, a famous sonnet, number 18, is a sonnet of Shakespeare.
What we discussed was the sound system of early modern English that is considered to be different from that of Old and Middle English, but similar to today's English. However, the vowel system in these periods had changed significantly because of the influences of the Great Vowel Shift, whereas the orthography did not follow this alternation. The video of our oral presentation based on Professor Hans lecture represents the pronunciations of English of several centuries ago. Thank you for watching.